Aleyküm selam ve rahmetullah. Aleyküm selam ve rahmetullah. Aleyküm selam ve rahmetullah. Selam ve rahmetullah. Esselamu Aleyküm ve rahmetullah. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilahe illa ente subhaneke inni kuntu minel zalimin. La havle ve la kuvvete illa billahil aliyyil azim. Rabbena gfir lana verhamna ve ente hayrul rahimin. Amin. Rabbi şrahli sadri ve yessirli emri ve hlul ukdeten min lisani yefkahu kavli ve cealli veziran min ehli Harun ahi yüştüd bihi ezri ve eşriku fi emri key nusebbihake kethira ve nezkurake kethira inneke kunte bina basira. Ve sallallahumma ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve etba'ahi ve sellim velhamdülillahi rabbil alemin. Inshallah, we will continue studying the story of Yusuf in the Quran. And we studied up to section Yusuf, verse 32. Okay. No, this one. We are studying this one now. Now, 32, she said, let's remember where we are. Now, the women of the city, Nadia Robinson. Okay. Yeah. The women of the city were gossiping about the Aziz's wife, or let's put it in a simple way, Prime Minister's wife. And they were talking, and the wife said, yeah, they don't know what happened to me because of the Yusuf's beauty, but I am a bit doubtful about it. Is famous in Islam, in the literature, that Yusuf was a beautiful prophet, a bodily beauty as well. Maybe I haven't seen him. I don't think they did as well. But Quran never makes it so clear. Quran states something else. Let me see here. Yeah, let me see here. No. Let me see here. Now, in this slide 12, okay, I'll go back 13, right? No, this one. Now, be careful here. Look, the verse says, فَلَمَّا رَأَيْنَهُ, those women, when they saw him, ekbernehu. Now, it doesn't say the women were really under the effect of the beauty, fascinated by the beauty of Yusuf. But ekbernehu, it really, for them, actually, they saw him so great. Although this is famous that he was so beautiful, they were stunned by his beauty, it is translated. So we should be free to understand that we should not reduce the seduction or something else to only material appearance. But we have been studying, this is important point that we have to pay attention, that the Yusuf represents one side of human being, his father represents another side, his brothers represent yet another side. Brothers were reasoning, using only their rationality and attaching importance to the quantity. Father was a very wise man, using his reasoning. Yusuf is so innocent as a child and ever in his life, so innocent, pure. Somehow Yusuf's position, we said, looks like representing human conscience. Representing human conscience. We talked about it long ago, maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. So human conscience is so beautiful, so perfect. One thing is quite interesting. You can direct your reasoning. You can direct your wisdom to this direction or to another direction, but with your free will. But your free will cannot affect human consciousness. What does it mean? Even if I don't follow human consciousness, it is there. It is always, if you like, spreading, emitting light. But on the other hand, human egoistic side, which is represented in the language of the revelations, Satan represents the alternative side. But human free will neither change the Satan's whisperings, nor can it change what conscience presents the person from within. But free will has only 2 options. Either decide to choose conscience or decide to choose whisperings, Satan's whisperings. It means total unrealistic, false suggestions. Total, not partially, totally unrealistic and false suggestions. That is why if someone follows his egoistic desires, in this case, Prime Minister's, let's say, Aziz's wife, follows his emotion only, what does he do? She chooses Satan's side, but at the same time admires the truthfulness, purity, beauty of conscience. knows it. So she wanted to attract the conscience and take under her control. Conscience, Yusuf, resented. It's not resented, come on. Resisted. No, you cannot take me into Satan's side. It means, so this human conscience, human beings want to use it, to utilize it in order to justify their satanic views or choices. But conscience never submits itself to satanic views. That is why.
Excuse me, Brother Ali. What do you think? What is the other thing you were saying, that what submits to the satanic view?
Thank you very much. Free will. Now, but by using free will, human beings want to capture conscience and utilize it in the line of their ambitions, their satanic, egoistic choices. But never, conscience never can change its place. It is always there. In human history, I don't have to have a historical evidence for it, and I don't have to have it, but here we are. Everybody knows that doing some good actions, helping some people, being kind to people is very good. What do? Humanists, these are very interesting points. Humanists want to utilize this good human side and use it in order to satisfy themselves. It means, rather than appreciating what God has given them the ability to do good things and created good things, they want to take it, capture it, and under their egoistic satisfactions, what does it mean? Egoistic satisfaction in humanism? Yes, I am a good man, so I am an honorable man. Yeah, that is why I helped thousands of people. So don't think that I am just a filthy capitalist. I am very rich, but at the same time, I help people in the areas of the world where they really need help. But they know that all this property are not theirs. They are given. And also, we see that all these philanthropic, I think it is pronounced, activities, altruistic activities, presented by these people are mostly politically motivated. But we don't judge about people. But we have to know that conscience cannot change its place, go under the control of Prime Minister Aziz's wife's position. It means own it, subjugate it to itself. They will never do that. From one aspect, if you want to describe it from physical side only, then you can say they or prime minister's wife and those people who don't believe in God, that is the society, how the Quran describes they were the unbelieving society, people. So what they do, they pay attention to the physical appearance, outward appearance, not the meaning in it. For example, my sense of helping people, now, outwardly, helping people is good. Inwardly, I would say something no, but you wouldn't be surprised what I meant by saying no. Helping people is good if it is used in the name of its creator. If it is used in order to acknowledge that his creator has given this beautiful sense to him or her, so he or she must appreciate it. But what they do, the outward appearance of the helping people, the action of helping people is good for the sake of helping people. They help people rather than acknowledge its creator and use it as a gift from their creator in the name of their creator, the creator of the sense. They don't do that. Usually, if someone pays attention to the outward appearance, it means really some not serious, sincere actions. Unfortunately, people sometimes may not be aware of it. But definitely, by definition, human consciousness definitely must know that what they are doing is in fact wrong. Because property is not created by them. Money, the financial power, is not created by them. And the ability within themselves is not created by them. That's why we see lots of tricks sometimes going on there. Not necessarily that we are talking about people, certain people. The humanistic attitudes. Replacing this humanism is very important because Muslims, without realizing, are really, really falling into humanism, to my understanding, according to my observations and understandings. In general, Muslims are really attracted by humanistic activities for the sake of humanistic activities. Some of them are aware of it, that this is God's creation. Some of them just really admire because they get satisfaction. That's why when I do something right, I am satisfied. But a believer says, thank God, it is beautiful that I did this beautiful job. For them, for the humanists, I am a very good man. This is the difference between humanistic usage of conscience and a believer's usage of conscience. Now, it is time for Prime Minister's wife organized the banquet, and they were enjoying it. You remember, she gave a knife in the hands, very sharp knives in the hands of each of the women there, and asked Yusuf to come out. When Yusuf came out, they admired his outward appearance, either physically outward appearance, which is very famous in the Muslim literature, or beauty of consciousness. Now, admiring one's, for example, morality, ethic, but not relating it to the creator. Very honest man, very honest and very helpful person. You admire it, but not in the name of or in order to acknowledge its creator. You say, he's a very nice man, person. I can be a friend of him, and of course he benefits me. Not necessarily that he is created, he or she is created beautifully. Her character acknowledges the creator. Very mild man. Most of the people like my people, kind people. But kindness for what? It doesn't mean that we have to be rude to people. No, we will be kind. But kindness for what? Maybe just satisfy yourself or acknowledge the beauty of the creator. How now? Another perspective is this: to understand this relationship between. I was going to tell the name. The name is not mentioned in the Quran, so we only say that prime minister's wife, Aziz's wife. Aziz's wife may attribute the beauty of the character, maybe beauty of the body as well. Regardless, depends on your which perspective you look at the better. Beauty of the character to Yusuf himself, not to its creator. That is also a very interesting way of understanding why people admire some people who have good character. We have to be very careful not to confuse between attributing the beauty, whatever the beauty is, whatever, to the thing itself or to its creator. That is the distinction that we have to learn to make. For example, if you see a beautiful bird, you have to say, oh, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, whatever, Allahu Akbar. How beautifully God created it. But you can say at the same time, how beautiful the bird is. But look at its design. Isn't that beautiful? Or look at this design. What do you think the creator is trying to tell me? He's introducing himself. He makes everything beautiful. It means he beautifies everything. He creates. Even the things we don't like are beautiful, but it is a long discussion. In their creation is amazing, amazing. If you look at, for example, anything that you don't like, think about it from the side of whatever it is object, looks to its creator and brings the message from its creator to you. That is the problem of our daily life, how we should really reflect our belief in our practical life. When we look at anything, when we look at the world, we are expected to see it as a written book, simple example, written book. When you look at the book, you don't look at the paper or writing, you look at the book for its meaning. You read it. Here I am looking at the screen. I am not looking at the screen, how beautiful the glass is or whatever the screen glass is, or I'm reading what's written on it. This is very simple, straightforward example, but represents a great reality. When I look at the universe, do I look at the universe in order to read it, the meaning manifested in it, the qualities introducing their creator to me? Which one? Which one? My stand is that is where Iman is functioning. Of course, I'm going to make a comparison, so I'm not really reducing the value of prayer and fasting at all. They are serious matters, but we reduced practicing one's Iman to some important but ritualistic activities. Only. They are great. They are very important. They must be done with the same consciousness as well. But more practically, a wide area is assigned to looking at any matter from the meaning side of it and try to see how the creator is introducing himself to me. Of course, prayer, while performing your prayer, you are expected to have the same consciousness. I am in front of now my creator. I don't see him. I don't have to see him, but definitely I'm sure I have a creator. I am presenting what I have collected from my daily life until the prayer time, what my conclusion was, and now I'm presenting it to you. Let's come to this verse now, 32. So we said, really, she invited them, and Yusuf came out. All these people admire the beauty of, you can say, character of Yusuf. You can say bodily appearance of Yusuf. And also, they might have really admired by attributing the character to Yusuf, although they are appreciating the character, but not acknowledging its creator. Now, you can choose whatever you like here. So here is the one, I'm reading the translation. She said, here is the one you blamed me for. I sought to seduce him. Yes, I too admired him and wanted to seduce him, wanted to capture him and take it under my control, use it for my own ambitions. But he firmly refused. Yeah, conscience cannot really give up itself to you, to egoistic desires, satanic area. He firmly refused. That's what is going on in ourselves, every individual. My satanic side, egoistic side, wants to use my beauty of the spirit or conscience for its own satisfaction. But conscience never allows itself to be under the control of one's egoistic satisfaction. That is the very essential message I understand from him, but he firmly refused it. Yeah. I thought sorry, now if he doesn't do what I order, look at this. He will be put in prison and will be humiliated. Wow. Can you put conscience in prison? Yes. How? By turning your back to the option conscience offers you. Then, as far as you are concerned, conscience is imprisoned. But at least conscience is not exploited and conscience has not changed or used in order to satisfy one's ambition. But you can ignore it. Yes, you can. That is the worst scenario. We have to be careful, even if we don't do what we know as right, either from the book, from scripture, or from own conscience. This is right to do. You feel very comfortable. We may fail to do it, but we should never do as Aziz's wife did. If he doesn't do what I order, it means if he doesn't really submit himself to my usage, he will be put in prison. Now, he will be put in prison. It means I will send him to prison. He will be far away from me or under the control of something else. I will ignore it and he will be humiliated. We have to be very careful. Now, we may be defeated by our egoistic desires. We are human beings. I would say it is quite human, not normal. I wouldn't say it is normal. No, it is not normal, but it is quite related to human weaknesses. We fail. I fail. I fail to follow what I know as the true or the true option. What I am expected not to deny and put the conscience into prison and forget about it. Forget about the conscience. At least say, what I did was wrong. Admit it. So that your back shouldn't be turned to conscience. Now, Nadia Robinson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please read the Arabic too. I want to advance my understanding of Arabic. Nadia, my friend, you know, I don't read it on purpose unless it is so clearly known to people, because we are not here to learn how to pronounce the Quran. We are here to learn how to understand the Quran. If you want to learn it, you can. There are hundreds of applications. They read it, listen to them, much beautiful than I do. Inshallah. If you don't mind, I can read it, but I mean, in this class, we have to concentrate on the meaning because these are deep meanings, important meanings. Thank you for asking this. but I have to tell what our principle here or my principle here. Very rarely, if it is needed, I refer to the Arabic version, I refer to the Arabic grammar side of it. Just sometimes people see that, look, we never heard that Yusuf represents human conscience. I don't think any of you heard it. But you can listen Yusuf's story as a beautiful guy. No, none of my business if he was a beautiful. It is nothing to do with the prophetic mission, but everybody talks about it. So what we do, what is not told in the Muslim society, and also what is not taught in the Muslim society, we concentrate on this side of the matter. Not, for example, I am guessing that most of you know about something, let's say related to Yusuf's story. What I do, I don't mention them because it is already known to you. Why should we waste our time? Okay, this is the principle we are following here. Otherwise, I would never break your heart and say, no, we are not going to do it. For example, but he firmly refused. It means fastasame. Asame, for example, it is against our principle. It's a castle. You get into the castle and lock the doors. No one can ever enter it. That is what he wants to do. This is of the form, wants to do. But the translation says he firmly refused it. Then it boils down to this meaning anyways. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't study Arabic side of it. We shouldn't learn how to recite the Quran at all. Oh, too much. I'm sorry. I think you got my point and you don't feel somehow resented, inshallah. Now.
So Brother Ali, so ego wants to overpower the conscience here. That's what the message is. I'm trying to see how the human being, this is a common condition of the human being where the ego comes in and tries to put the conscience down, like imprison it. And what is the humiliation part?
So when it stops, it means the conscience stops functioning in the eye of the people. He will be humiliated, not in the eye of God, not in the eye of the truth, but in the eye of the people. When you kill, well, you cannot kill conscience, by the way, it was a wrong word. When you chase away the conscience, never pay attention to what it says, ignore it, don't you see this civilization now? This civilization? Look at the films, movies. What are they talking about? What did they teach people? Just killing, ugly faces, cartoons, really disgusting appearance of human being with one eye, or some satanic appearance, or what satanic appearance as it is in the literature, as it is in this cartoon literature. And they like it. What does it mean? They are really humiliating the beauty, the quality of conscience, humiliating it, ignoring it. This is, some people, not everybody is corrupt, no, at all. Quite a number of people, quite a lot of people appreciate conscience, but use it in order to just satisfy themselves, cannot subjugate to them, but get the message from it, but use it in their own satisfaction, in the way of their own satisfaction. Get this message from conscience. For example, be an altruistic man, give some money to charity and help people, be kind to everybody, be respectful to others. Oh, these are good things. If I do them, I will be a good person. Where is the creator? Where is the acknowledgement? Where is the main function of human being? Good. So, someone only can humiliate it by putting it in a dysfunctioning position. Dysfunctioning position. Prison is a little bit different to me. I will just not take notice of it at all. Not take notice of it at all. The other one is replacing it with something humiliating, replacing it with something. Now, in olden times, movies were mostly related to romanticism. Music was used for how do you say, not satisfying, but soothing down the human emotions, causing serenity in one's life. The earlier classical music. Now, it disturbs you. Angry voices, complaints, rebellions. It means human reality, human conscience is under very strong pressure, so that we are not going to listen to it. We are not going to follow it. This is the civilization I feel now in the world, really invading the world. Well, it doesn't mean that there are no good people in the world now. Right. We may, for example, don't misunderstand, please, that I'm going to give a different example, but unusual example. We may use the Quran and replace it for music, beautiful recitation. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't read the Quran with beautiful recitation. No, just for its beauty, someone may use it. For example, I see some, people have nothing to do with religious feelings, etc. Some Sufi music, turn it into a entertainment, means of entertainment. Beautiful music, enjoy it. What does it say? Doesn't know. Doesn't pay attention to it. This kind of attitudes, I feel, what is going on in the world now. Of course, this obvious certain metallic music, or I don't know the quality of any music at all. I'm not familiar with the music world, but sometimes I hear the voice. People use it in their car and really play it very loud. What is that? They are torturing themselves, to me. That is why, that is the way they are really pushing down the human reality, conscience. Taking it's only for rebellion, for everything. I mean, they are not having a certain group of people that they are fighting with it. No, they are rebelling the beauty of the creation of this world. Making even, for example, rather than making the galaxies, stars as a beautiful, for example, journey, and admiring the beauty of it. What is famous now? Star Wars. No? Stars are created, therefore, in order to entertain the human beings. They turn to place of war, battlefield. What is strange? The civilization, disgusting, beauty. So some people developed, I don't know what music, the type of music it is, I have no idea, but some people say, while they are really performing the music on or their music on the stage, for example, they smash on a chicken. What is that? Music. Music is it's supposed to be the food of one's serenity, calmness. Yeah, in the Muslim world, music is used. Where? Everywhere music is used, and everything was beautiful. Art was beautiful. Architecture was beautiful, imitating the beauty of the creation. Music was also used beautifully in order to beautify the sound of the Quran, recitation of the Quran. And also very famous, they were treating the people who were having some psychological depressions or problems. They were having, let's say, hospitals to treat these people, not the physical illness, but psychological illnesses. They were using music to treat, one of the treatment elements. Now, torturing. No, that is a really interesting case to me, to pay notice of. Okay, what happened? He said, Yusuf said, let's say, beautiful character of Yusuf, conscience, human conscience said, my Lord, prison is dearer to me than that to which they call me. It means instead of going on the side of Satan's whisperings and helping them, if they ignore me or put me in prison, I will be more comfortable, because in prison, I am still keeping my beauty, I am still keeping my truthfulness, but the person himself, herself, is depriving of my beauty. That is for her problem. In this case, the Prime Minister's problem, Aziz's wife's problem, not me. So while Yusuf was ignored or put into prison, who suffered? Do you think Yusuf suffered? No, Yusuf carried on his message in prison and ended up becoming the prime minister of the country. But wife was really deprived of this beauty because she didn't appreciate it in the right way. If she appreciated in the right way, the Yusuf would be always with her in her house, serving her. Can you imagine? Not a beautiful opportunity it would be for the wife. And consciousness declares, my Lord, prisoner dearer to me than that to which they call me. if you don't turn their scheming away from me, if you, God, don't do it, I may incline towards them and be among the ignorant. It means consciousness is acting in the positive way, not because the consciousness itself has an independent existence, but God created it with this quality. Therefore, it is under the protection of God. No one can employ the conscience into his egoistic desires or to satisfy his egoistic desires. Cannot do that. Now, what is another meaning here we can get from this verse 33? If we want to protect ourselves from the effect of the evil actions, evil thought, evil people, what is better for us? To keep ourselves away from them. That is also a very good, very interesting way of understanding that Yusuf asked God and said, okay, prisoner dearer to me than that to which they call me. Now, you might have heard that some people say, if Yusuf did not say that the prison is dearer to me than that to which they call me, if Yusuf didn't pray in this way, he wouldn't be in prison. Oh, I would say, maybe, but okay, that is your idea. I respect everybody's idea, but he's teaching us, or in this story, Yusuf's position is teaching us, if people want to seduce you, have a negative effect on you as a friend, as an ideology, so keep away from harmful videos, harmful books, harmful friends. They may influence you. Of course, not conscience will be changed, but our relationship with conscience will be under the effect of others, and we may keep ourselves slowly getting away, or we may find ourselves slowly getting away from following our reality, our conscience. So this is another interesting way of understanding the verse I found. Now let's make a comparison. The body, in the literal reading of the verse, body is in prison, but Yusuf is comfortable, relaxed. Then the physical appearance, somebody didn't take notice of consciousness. Consciousness is comfortable, but these people may seem to be free now because he turned down, shut down conscience. So he thinks that there is no disturbance to me. For example, there is no hereafter. Somebody claims that there is no hereafter. What does it mean? Now I can enjoy my life until I die. Whatever I can do, use every opportunity. They think, I am free from the influence of religion, what they say. Now, don't really submit yourself, succumb yourself to religious feelings. Feel free, enjoy your life. But Death is out there. People are aging. When he sees an old man or person, woman or man, a person cannot really feed himself, cannot look after himself. What do these people do? Run away from it. They don't want to see it. That's why nowadays the civilization offers us what? When your parents get old, need help, now get financially ready, ask your parents get financially ready so that they will be put in somebody's care. How do they call them?
Nursing homes.
Nursing homes. You see, away from sight. I can pay the money, don't worry. But I don't want to see this horrible scene because it reminds them their reality. Let's say their father is in this position and the man says, example, after 20, 25 years, I will be like this man. How can this man can really shut down his conscience? By playing. That is what Aziz's wife was presented in this position. Seems to be very free, but she could never benefit from Yusuf's beauty. At least, if she wasn't really that arrogant, at least she can watch Yusuf's beauty present like a flower. But of course, we have to understand the conscience is beautiful, although I'm not following it, but it is beautiful. Some people, sometimes like me, they, Iman is beautiful. Belief in God is beautiful. Belief in the hereafter really makes our life. But I am very much indulged in worldly affairs. I have no time to pray. What a horrible man I am. But at least he enjoys the beauty of conscience, beauty of reality. But he's not applying it. Still, at least some benefits from it. What is worse? Cheating yourself, completely chasing away the conscience, denying that there is no God, there is no hereafter. So we are just happen to be accidentally like this. So we have to enjoy our life. Just take care of your daily life. Try to enjoy it. Whatever you like, do it, and don't feel guilty about it. Is it possible? It is a loss. It is a loss. That's why the Quran always say, oh my human beings that say my ibad, my worshipping creatures or whatever you call them, all human beings, if you fall into a mistake, ask for forgiveness and turn to me. I will forgive you. It means don't deny, don't send my reality into prison. You will be deprived. That's why the difference between first, Aziz's wife lost the beauty of Yusuf, although she couldn't really subjugate it to herself, subjugated Yusuf to herself, but at least she could have enjoyed his beauty. But now he lost it by sending it to prison. She lost it, sorry, by sending it to prison. That is why his Lord answered his prayer. It means that is the reality, that is the truth. When the truth is presented to God, he approves it, he accepts it. It means rather than going on the satanic side, I can just go away. I can be denied by the person. That the person will be deprived of my beauty. That is his business. I am comfortable here, keeping away from the evil. And God answered his prayer and turned their scheming away from him. It means they couldn't really guard it. It means subjugated Yusuf to themselves. Truly, he is the hearing, the knowing. Now, inshallah, what we should understand from this kind of messages, the time is up. We should be open to look at the Quran from different perspectives. I know it needs training. It needs alternative thinking. That's why we have to really widen our vision of understanding the truth by investigating more and more. Keep ourselves busy with the Quran and investigate what the people did say about it, about them. It means being always in contact with the Quran brings unimaginable beauty in one's life and meaning. You understand that, look, فَاسْتَجَابَ لَهُ رَبُّهُ answered his prayer. Why? Because his prayer was right. What does it mean? Not to submit yourself to the charm of this century, this civilization, to the charm of the tradition of this world. For example, as soon as I saw the $1 billion cost of movie Star Wars, I said, oh God, God says in the Quran, we created the stars, the heaven for you in order to beautify your life, in order to let you enjoy your life. Now they turn it into battlefield. What's going on? I have to keep them away. Never, ever watched one of those films at all. Why? Well, I'd be better away from it in prison. But who is going to lose? They will lose it. They wouldn't be able to influence me. They wouldn't be really able to have a negative effect on my human feelings. I should not spoil my beautiful conscience. Inshallah. Well, thank you very much. Jazakumullah. Any comment, any question, any point that you wanted to share? Farah, go ahead.
So, since you asked for comments, I was just thinking about one of the applications that you talked about right in the beginning, is this sense, I think we all experience it these days, that one of the predominant ways in which we see that people want to exercise their belief and their religion and their identity is by doing good or doing things for the community. And I was just reflecting on that aspect of why is that idea so dominant, that is the only way really to show our religious belief and identity. Because at the end of the day, no one will disagree, no one over here will disagree that you should not do good in the name of the Creator, and neither will someone else who believes in the same Creator disagree. But I was thinking that if the consciousness represented by Yusuf is inherently only free and only functioning when it is attached to an eternal source, something that it represents and reflects in its desire for perfection and eternity, and in its own nature is unbound, except that it sort of lives or is functions within the body. I see that what happens is that if I say to myself that, oh, my way of satisfying my consciousness is by doing good for someone, if I start from the outward act, I will, in its in its nature, sort of confine it or attach or have fall into the risk of sooner or later um, subjecting it to something that it's not meant to be. And I'm just sort of thinking about sort of what is the argument for thinking about when we do good, what does it mean to be doing good? Because maybe in our society today, more than the outward act, good means to engage in activity or thought or acts that help realize the nature of this consciousness and attaching it to the meaning side of creation. And so perhaps maybe for our society, maybe for our time, the lesson that I want to draw from this experience of these verses is like, maybe the act of doing good today does not start from the outward act of, how we understand community service or community projects, but rather something more, all activities that address the inner connection of a consciousness to its source. And yeah, that's the thought that I had. And what does that look like outwardly later on is, it comes it has an expression, but perhaps the definition of doing good is inverted a little bit in our context.
Thank you. Beautiful comment, actually. I mean, I'm sure you are not suggesting that we shouldn't do community activities, but we have to do it in the name of Allah, not to get credit for it, especially honor in the society or in our community. So don't fight to become a president of the Islamic Society of something or administration of the mosque, but do it for the sake of beauty of it. But unfortunately, I fail. So I see that I think that other people also may fail doing this. In this case, don't deny it that you failed, and don't try to justify it. Just say, I am a weak person. I am sorry. My Allah, my God, Allahumma ghfirli. Forgive me. That is what we are learning from here, inshallah. Thank you. Beautiful comment. Anything more? Then I have to stop here. We have to stop here. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana. Innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum. And alhamdulillah.